How do you make a killer first impression? Now, if you're single, this is really important. But whether you're single or not, it's still important to be able to make a good first impression. Now, the interesting thing is 93% of your first impression is not based on the words that come out of your mouth. A lot of how we're going to judge people is based on all of our senses picking up things about them that we're really not consciously aware of. We will look at how someone's dressed. We feel someone's energy. You can feel whether someone's happy or sad. There's a whole pile of things that go into that first impression. But I was just watching The Bachelorette last night, and what a highly loaded situation that is. You've got 20 guys, most of them are pretty attractive, going in, competing against each other. Now, they have one chance to make a first impression. It's the cocktail party. I think they had to get rid of 3 or 4 guys in the first night. Brutal. So you've got that many guys competing to make an impression. How do you do that? And you might say to me, look, Deb, that's just, a situation that doesn't happen. Well, I want to say it happens to singles every single day. No matter where you are, if you're out and about, people are doing that all the time when they see you. You're just not consciously aware of it. We're mentally swiping yes or no to people by the impression that they give us, right? Online, you're doing that. People will do that. And you might say it's being based on the superficial, but a picture paints 1,000 words, and so does a profile. Then you've got events. I run speed dating, I run singles events, and the one thing about those events is you see your results in real time. You see how you're going with other people, or whether you're people's cup of tea. A little bit like The Bachelor. So how do you nail that killer first impression? Well, I'm going to go through a couple of things, and they apply to men and women and at different times. So watching the series of The Bachelorette last night, there were 2 girls and 20 guys, and like I said, most of them were pretty attractive. They came in, and the key is to stand out but not come across weird. That's a little bit of skill. So you don't want to be the bland guy who no one notices. And I noticed one guy went home last night that appeared to be good looking, but we didn't see anything about him. He didn't show any personality. So good looks alone will not get you over the line. Now, there were some guys that came across too different and too outside of the square that they were ruled out. Now, one guy in particular, people will often come in and say, I'm just going to be exactly who I am. Well, he came in and he did his dolphin sound impression and he did animal noises. It may have made him stand out, but I don't believe it made him stand out for the right reasons, which may sound harsh. You got other guys that came dressed as Cupid or a tradie, or, there were various things that people did to try and make them stand out. But it goes beyond looks, it goes beyond stunts. So you really want to be authentic in who you are. Otherwise, I see this all the time at singles events, that people are trying to give the best first impression, and as a result, they're not really showing who they are. So essentially, they're coming across as weird, which is not the intention that they had. So it's really important to be comfortable in your own skin and be yourself. But we're not saying be the self-warts and all, this is who I am, accept me regardless. Just saying be comfortable in your own skin. Now, people love confidence. Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, confidence matters. If you don't believe in yourself, other people will feel that, and it will come across. Even if you're not saying anything, we pick up those non-verbal cues that we're not really aware of. So you've got to believe in yourself. And having confidence is not arrogance. It's not, going in and being the loudest person or just, I've seen people go with false confidence, but real confidence is that quiet confidence that you're assured that you've got the ability to do this. It's a bit like you would have at work. That you've got the ability to talk to someone and you're not worried if they're going to judge them. You know that you're likable and they're going to like you. That translates well whether you're a male or whether you're a female, and it really does work. You want to be surprising, but you want to be surprising in the right way. Now, never underestimate the value of a good conversation. And I've been talking about this in my videos lately. You want a conversation that builds on emotions, not on facts. When we get in our head, we get over analytical, we get over judgmental. But when we get into our feelings, it takes us into a different part of our brain, a different way of looking at people. The same when if we're genuinely curious about people. So if you can ask questions and build on what someone else really loves, they're going to remember how it feels to talk to you. But there's a skill in that. Now, I always recommend going with more positive lines of conversation in the first time you meet people. Now, we've just gone through this terrible COVID situation, and for many people around the world, they're still going through it. But how you can crouch that in a positive way or a negative way. So you could ask someone the question, oh, what are you most looking forward when we come out the other side of COVID? You know, what's been surprising about it for you, and what have you most enjoyed? What are you most looking forward to traveling? Whatever flavor on that positive angle, you know, looking for what you're most looking forward to gets people into that feeling of positive, or what was surprisingly good about it. Or you could say, what do you feel like you've missed out on in COVID? Now that's negative. I don't recommend you do that. And I don't recommend it because, you know, people could have lost their jobs. People could have lost family members. People could have found themselves in quite awful situations because of COVID. You don't want to remind them of that feeling, because that's not going to attach a good memory to talking to you. That will make you stand out for all the wrong reasons, okay? So the other thing I recommend is go in with some conversations that you're comfortable with, that work for you. Now, this can take a bit of practice and a bit of that social muscle that I've been talking about lately. Women tend to be better at conversation because it's a skill that we do over and over again. I often find women at speed dating trying to make the men feel comfortable and fill in the gaps in conversation, and they really should stop and allow the guy to, you know, stop trying to fix it all the time and allow a different type of conversation to come about. Allow the guy to shine. Whereas I think sometimes as women, when we ask questions, we can really control that situation, and we don't form a connection when we're controlling the situation. Whereas if we let go and see what happens when we don't try and control it, we could be surprised by what they might bring. But I know that a lot of women want to make the other person feel good, but see how it feels for you instead. Now, coming with a good conversation or a good story. We all love stories. That's why we like books and movies, but come with a great positive story that engages. And this takes a little bit of practice. One of the guys did do it on The Bachelorette last night, and he rolled in his magic carpet, and he said when he was in the Middle East, he used to lie and look at the stars, and he told this whole emotional story, which the girls instantly connected with him and made him feel good and made him memorable for very authentic reasons. You know, rather than the whole showmanship, it's about being real and standing out for the right reasons. Now, again, I can talk about this in this video till the cows come home. We can't always identify what we're doing wrong. We might think that we follow people's tips, and I know that I give a lot of tips in these videos. I might tell someone, you know, to dress to impress. That could mean different things to different people. I know that you could tell someone to wear a white shirt and some pants. They could wear it too small, too big, the pants too small, too big. There is something in wearing the right fitting clothes that will get your impression, guys. There's that right balance between wearing the right amount of aftershave and drowning yourself in it. The same applies to women. You know, how you present and what you wear is a bit of an art. And often when you work on the outside first, you can start to feel good about yourself. So when I do work with singles, I help them work on both the outside and the inside, because both are important to get the success and to make the first impression that you want to. Anyway, if you want some specific help tailored to you, because you might not always see what you need to improve in a video, because we don't know what we don't know about the impression that we're giving to other people. Anyway, my name's Debbie Rivers. I'm a relationship expert. I hope whatever you do is making you happy today. Take care. Thank you.